Hello, my name is Anders Johnson. I'm one of the members of the Natural Language Rules team, one of the projects for CMPUT 401 in fall 2020. Today I'm going to show off our project and what we've managed to accomplish these last few months. As a quick introduction to what this project is, we were tasked with designing a tool that translates natural language sentences into a more domain-specific rule language developed by Christoph Sydora. The rationale is that this tool will allow a user to more easily write rules to be inputted into a building information model checker, something that traditionally required more specific knowledge of the checker program to implement. The goal here is to have a translation layer between standard English sentences and a more mathematical-based rule language for easier inputting into these programs. We have our editor in the center of the page here. Right above it, we have different elements of the rule itself in different colors. These colors correspond to highlighting we're going to add when a user inputs a rule. We have multiple different elements of a rule. We have types, which are different objects contained within the rule. So that's chairs, refrigerators, sinks, windows, etc. We have different properties of the rule we might be specifying. We have different relationships between two different rules. We have any units of measurement used in either properties or relations. And we have unrecognized components if we don't recognize something. I also have an example button that gives an example rule. So we'll put this in just to demonstrate. As we see here, all the different elements of the rule were highlighted correctly. We have our two different types, which are windows and sinks. We have two different properties for windows. We have that a width must be no less than 15 inch at a height of no more than 2 feet. We also see that a relation got properly highlighted and that the relationship between these two things is properly captured. Right below the input box, we have an error level. You could think of this as how severe it would be if a rule would be broken. You can either set it to just be a recommendation to fix the problem, a warning that this could lead to further problems, or an error that must be rectified immediately. This is to be checked in the building image model checker. We hit submit, processes the rule and gives us two translations. The first is in mathematical notation for the rule language. As we can see here, for all object 0 equals window and any object 1 equals sink, we have the width specified as greater than or equal to 15 inch for object 0, which is what we matched up here. Same thing with the height. And object 0 and object 1 is above equal true represents that all windows must be above a sink, which is what we want. For users who may not be mathematically savvy, we also do have a retranslation of what the above means in natural English down here. We also have a delete button in case the user wants to delete the current rule and start over. If we open up our sidebar here, we can see our rule set management. We can add a multitude of different rules here for a specific project, and we can also delete them, as you saw before. We can also set a name and description for a rule set. We also have the ability to import and export JSON for rule sets. So let's import a rule set that I've created before. We have 3 rules in this rule set. Any bed should be beside a table. All toilet must be next to a sink. And the same example prompt we had a minute ago. Let's add a 4th rule. Let's say I want to ensure that any bath has to have a faucet. So we'll specify it as this. Any bath below a faucet. As you can see here, we registered the type correctly, we registered the relation correctly, but the second type did not register correctly. Faucet is not a word contained within the current dictionary of terms we're looking for. As a result, we don't quite know what it is and we're not sure what to do with it. So we prompt the user. We say that token faucet was not recognized. And we give a list of different similar items that it could be. None of these seem to really fit what I'm trying to look for, so I'm going to click use anyways. This allows it to be used in my rule regardless of whether or not it's supported. I'm going to click error level error because I want this to be a critical rule. And I click submit. We can see that it measures it regardless. We have bath, we have faucet, and we have this is below relation equal to true. Let's say we want to export it. You can set the rule set name to something like modified. Export to JSON. We can open this up and see that everything has been saved to a specified format, including this 4th rule here with the proper error level. So that's our project. I hope you enjoyed looking at it. We enjoyed working on it. We're very proud of what we accomplished.